Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about Linux, but really, we're talking about freedom. The freedom to have a computer that actually works for you, not the other way around. If you've ever wanted more control and a super powerful and free alternative to what you're using right now, well, you are in exactly the right place.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You've got bloatware you can't get rid of, updates that pop up at the absolute worst times, a system that just feels totally locked down. And it's super frustrating, isn't it? But what if I told you there's another way? A way that puts you right back in the driver's seat.
Well, that's where Linux comes in. At its heart, it's all about two really simple but powerful ideas, giving you the freedom to choose exactly how your computer looks and works, and giving you the power to control every little detail.
All right, so let's get into what Linux really is. The word Linux gets thrown around a lot, but it's actually way simpler than it sounds, especially if you think about it like a car. We're going to break down the two most important parts.
So first things first, you've got the Linux kernel. Just think of this as the engine of your car. It's this powerful core piece of technology working under the hood, talking to your processor, your memory, all the hardware. You never really see it, but it's the foundation that makes everything else run.
Now, you don't just drive an engine, right? You drive a whole car, and that's what we call a distribution, or just distro for short. The distro takes that powerful engine, the kernel, and builds the entire car around it. The dashboard, the seats, the apps, the paint job, everything you actually see and touch. And the best part? You get to pick the exact car you want to drive.
And that brings us to the really fun part, picking out your first ride. Now, there are literally hundreds of options out there, which sounds overwhelming, but don't worry. So many of them are designed specifically for people just like you, making that switch from Windows or Mac OS as smooth as possible.
Okay, let's just bust a huge myth right here, right now. A lot of people hear Linux, and they immediately picture this scary black screen with blinking green text. But just look at this. This right here is Ubuntu, one of the most popular versions of Linux on the planet. It's clean, it's modern, and it is every bit as friendly and easy to use as anything else out there. No scary code in sight.
So, if you're just starting out, two of the absolute best places to look are Ubuntu and Linux Mint. Ubuntu is kind of the gold standard. It's got that modern feel and a huge online community, which means if you ever have a question, chances are thousands of people have already answered it. Then you've got Linux Mint, which is amazing for anyone coming from Windows. Its desktop feels instantly familiar. I'm talking taskbar, start menu, it's all right where you'd expect it. Both of them have super smooth installations, they work with most hardware right away, and they come packed with all the apps you need to get started.
Okay, but what about that scary black screen, right? The terminal, the command line. I want you to start thinking about it differently. It's not something to be afraid of, it's your secret weapon. It's a tool for pure speed and power. Let me tell you a quick real-world story that shows you exactly what I mean. So, picture this. This story comes from a real user who was just starting out. They were in a huge hurry, they had a presentation to give, and they needed to find one specific PDF file. The problem? It was buried somewhere in their downloads folder, which had over 1,000 files in it. Yikes. We've all been there.
I mean, that's the problem right there, isn't it? Just total digital chaos. Trying to manually scroll through all of that, looking for one file name, it would take forever, and it's just so frustrating.
So, what's the plan? Super simple. Step 1, let's make a new, clean folder just for the PDFs. In the terminal, you just type mkdir, which just means make directory, and give it a name. Done. It happens in less than a second. And this is where the magic happens. With one single command, you can tell the computer, hey, find every single file that ends in .pdf and copy it into that new folder we just made. That's it. That one little line, CP for copy. What would have taken you ages of clicking and dragging is over in like 2 seconds.
And the result? Bam! Instead of digging through 1,000 files, they now just had a folder with maybe 50 PDFs in it. They found the file they needed in minutes. You see, the terminal wasn't a roadblock. It was a superpower. It took a totally frustrating problem and just solved it, with speed and with precision.
See, it's a superpower. So now that you've seen what it can do, let's give you your first toolkit. We're going to go over 5 basic commands that will let you start navigating and controlling your system right away.
All right, first command, ls. All this does is list all the files and folders right where you are. It's your most basic tool for just seeing what's around you. It's kind of like flipping on the lights in a dark room. Next up, pwd.
This stands for Print Working Directory, and it does exactly what it says. It tells you your precise location in the whole file system. Think of it as that little "You Are Here" marker on a mall map. It makes sure you never get lost.
Okay, so how do you actually move around? For that, you use CD, which stands for Change Directory. You just type CD and then the name of the folder you want to go into. This is how you walk from room to room in your computer. And hey, we already know this one from our story, right? MKDIR. It lets you make a new directory or folder. It's how you build new spaces to keep all your stuff organized.
And last but not least, we have RM for remove. Now, listen up, because this one is important. You have to be really careful with this command. Unlike dragging a file to the trash, when you use RM, it's gone, like forever. It's an incredibly powerful command, which is why you always double-check what you're doing before you hit enter.
So let's do a super quick recap to lock this in. LS turns on the light so you can see. PD is your "You Are Here" map marker. CD is how you walk between the rooms. MKDIR lets you build a brand new room. And RM, well, that's the paper shredder. You get these 5 down, and trust me, you are well on your way.
All right, we've covered a ton of ground, haven't we? We talked about what Linux actually is, how you can choose a version that feels totally comfortable, and we even took our first steps with the super powerful command line. You've got the foundation now.
Honestly, everything we've talked about today, it's just the very tip of the iceberg. The cool thing about Linux is that the basics are designed to be easy and to get you started quick. But right below the surface, there's this whole world of incredible power, customization, and control that's just waiting for you to explore.
So look, the real question isn't whether you can take control of your computer. You absolutely can. The real question is, what are you going to build with all this newfound power? Now that you've seen the freedom and the choice that Linux offers, what will you create with it? Your journey starts right now.